So here we have M2's 1970 Dodge Challenger. This is a 1/24 scale die-cast model. And as we would expect, we get the openable features such as the hood, the doors, and the trunk. But not only that, we also get some posable steering. If we rotate the wheel, the steering wheel that is, we could also rotate the we can actually turn and steer the car. But not only that, we also get some nice paintwork and decals for the logos, such as the Challenger RT logo on the side, as well as the 440 Magnum logo on the side of the hood. Some other details that we have are tire lettering and the side markers. If we look to the front of the car, we can look at the grille. It still has the Challenger RT logo and very nicely rendered headlights that actually have a molded in pattern that make them look more like the actual glass headlights that they were on the original car. We can open the hood. It's got a lot of nice details on the engine itself. It's been painted orange with the exhaust headers to the side, which are painted in silver. Now the engine doesn't actually really have any wires or anything hooked up to it, except for there is the radiator hose. However, it still makes for a good display, I feel. Now the intakes on the Challenger's hood are actually see-through. There are actual holes in the metal. I don't really know how to show that on the video, but that's what they are. Now if we move over to the side and open the doors, we can see that there is the interior, pretty much just mostly molded in plastic with a few paint applications and a decal for the gauge cluster. I'll show you that here. The interior isn't really that much it doesn't really have that much detail. However, like I said, the gauge cluster is a decal. It does have the steerable wheel, as well as, you know, the sides of the doors have some paint apps as well. Now we can move to the rear of the vehicle and we can see the very nice rear taillights. I've always loved the Challenger's taillights. Probably my favorite feature of the real car and this model. As you can see, look very realistic to the real car. We can open the trunk. However, that's kind of the biggest disappointment of this particular model, as it's much like the interior, just molded in plastic and completely kind of bland. In fact, the trunk has effectively no detail whatsoever. Now, if we flip over to the other side, we'll see that it's effectively a mirror of the other side, just with the gas cap. So we can see here, which is painted in white, it's not chrome. And alongside that, we can flip over the car and see the bottom, which is actually very nicely detailed considering this is a budget car. You can see the exhaust system has been painted up. It's a silver. It's not really chrome. It's more of a silver color. The engine, of course, is orange, as well as the transmission, as well as the steering system right here. Overall, I quite like this model, as I'm a big fan of the Dodge Challenger, specifically of this year.